Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to cover a bit of news that has been circulating within the community over the course of the past couple of days. Now, I'm sure that everybody has heard this by now, but just in case you haven't, the NPD group released the video game sales figures for 2019, and since we've just entered a new decade, they decided to round up all the sales information from 2010 up until 2019 to determine which video games were the best selling over the course of the past 10 years. Unsurprisingly, Call of Duty made the cut, but it turns out that Call of Duty titles accounted for 7 of the top 10 best-selling games of the past decade. Now, as you guys can see, Grand Theft Auto 5 took the top spot, but Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 3, Ghost, Call of Duty World War II, and Black Ops 4 also ended up making the list. Now, we all know that games like the original Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3 were super popular, but I find it really interesting that even games like Black Ops 4 and World War II were able to make the list of the best-selling games of the past decade, despite only being out for a couple of years. Now, to add to this, here are going to be the best-selling games of 2019, and unsurprisingly, Call of Duty also made the cut, but this time it was Modern Warfare which took the number 1 spot. Now, obviously, there is a lot that can be pulled from this information. Number 1, Call of Duty is a freaking juggernaut. Despite the issues that each game seems to have year after year, people buy Call of Duty on name and brand recognition alone, but also, I think it's important to discuss the games that did the best and what Activision and the development studios may be doing in the future to try to capitalize on that. So looking back at the list here, the Black Ops series is wildly popular. I think this is due to the quality of the first few titles, right? Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 were fantastic, but also, I think it's because it's the only sub-series in the franchise that continued on throughout the entire decade. If Infinity Ward had released a Modern Warfare 4 and a Modern Warfare 5 instead of Ghost and Infinite Warfare, I'm sure that those games would have done just as well and they would have made the list here, but I also think it's really interesting that 2 of the 3 Call of Duty titles that did not make the top 10 best-selling games last year are the advanced movement games, right? Black Ops 3 obviously came in at number 5, but I think that's because it continued the Black Ops series after the success of Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, and I also feel as though the reason why people enjoyed it so much was because the multiplayer was so well put together, and it also had arguably the best zombies in franchise history. Now, obviously, Modern Warfare 2019 did not make the cut because it was out for 2 months before the decade wrapped up, but despite all of its issues and the terrible launch and people seemingly hating on the game all the time, it still sold incredibly well, and it's continuing to sell really well because of the holiday season. I think that when we look at which games sold the best over the course of the past 10 years, and therefore which games made Activision the most money, it was the games that represented everything that was great about Call of Duty back in the day. Games like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 were fantastic, and I feel as though that's the reason why Call of Duty 2020 is rumored to be a soft reboot of the Black Ops series. From a business perspective, there is no reason to kill the golden goose when Treyarch is pushing out games year after year that continuously do this well. When a sub-series like Black Ops keeps selling year after year, despite any inherent flaws or issues that each individual game may or may not have, the smart move is to keep riding that success until the wheels fall off. When you look at the other games that have been released recently, Modern Warfare 2019 is a reboot, right? It's a soft reboot of the Modern Warfare series, which was done, no doubt, in an effort to rekindle interest from people that loved Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3. But then if you look at the other games that have come out, like Call of Duty World War II, that game was specifically designed to try to bring back fans of the old World War II themed games, and apparently it worked out pretty well because even though it was only out for 15 months, it still got ranked as the 8th best-selling game of the past decade. I think it's pretty clear that right now, Activision and the dev studios are going with what they know. By continuing the Black Ops series and now rekindling the Modern Warfare series, they're attempting to keep the momentum of the 2010s going through the 2020s. With the news that Sledgehammer Games and Raven Software completely flopped with Call of Duty 2020, which forced Treyarch to step in and have to take over, the development development studios are now back on that same 2-year development cycle that they had from 2005 through 2014. During that time, we saw some really great games and we saw some really great innovations, but I have to wonder, how long will the studios be able to continue with Black Ops games and Modern Warfare games? I really don't see them going with a futuristic setting anytime soon, but I would personally love to see them revisit World War II one more time. But because Treyarch has to make Call of Duty 2020 and the other studios like Sledgehammer Games and Raven Software, because they're helping Treyarch out with that game, this means that Infinity Ward is basically set to make Call of Duty 2021, which means that right now they are well into the development of that game. So chances are that game is also going to be a continuation of what we see here with Modern Warfare 2019. This means that we're likely in the future just going to go back to what it was like way back in the day, where every other year we get a new Black Ops game and a new Modern Warfare game. And I think for a lot of people that's a really good idea, but for other people that may not be such a good idea. Some people want innovation, some people want change, some people really enjoyed the advanced movement games, some people really enjoyed games like Call of Duty Ghosts, or even one-off games like Call of Duty World War II. But for right now, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting that, and now we have all this information about what was so successful about the last decade of Call of Duty. I think it's pretty clear what Activision is going to be doing going forward. Now, I do hope, I should point this out, I do hope that remasters are still on the table. We have not heard really anything about Modern Warfare 2 Remastered in recent months, but I suppose we're going to eventually learn more about that game. We do know it exists. They are working on it in some capacity, but we haven't heard really anything in so long. But hopefully in the coming months, we'll hear more about that. And once again, I think right now it's pretty clear that the plan for the Call of Duty franchise is to stop trying to make one-off games and try to reinvent the wheel with new universes and new things to do, but rather, I think they're going to go back to what they know works and what they know the community is going to like. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot wait to learn more about Call of Duty 2020 because Black Ops 1 is hands down my favorite game in the Call of Duty series, but just like with Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, we're going to have to be patient. We don't really know too much about the game as of right now, and as always, I will do my best to keep you guys posted with more information about that game as soon as that info becomes available. But right now, that's all the information we currently have. I do think it's really interesting that Call of Duty was so popular throughout the 2010s, and I would love to hear what you guys think about this news. What are your theories as to why Call of Duty did so well in the past decade? And I would also love to hear what you think Activision is going to be doing with the series going forward. Be sure to leave your thoughts and feedback down in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.